My name is Dan Levitus. I'm the co-founder of Vision Brokers and Advisors and mybizsale.com.au, and we're a boutique firm that specialises in the transaction of businesses in the range of 1 to 20 million. I initially reached out to Lucy at a time that I was having a lot of challenges at home, and it was really affecting my ability to perform my role in my business. So my daughter was 2 years old and she was not sleeping at all throughout the night, and I had weeks of virtually no sleep and just found being able to function was really difficult. I had no sense of clarity, I had no motivation. I found myself on the couch during the day trying to get little micro naps in. I had a really great, robust business that was growing very quickly, and at this time we're now up to a team of 6, and I just didn't have a shred of motivation. I could not see the field, I could not think clearly, and I didn't know what steps to take to try to remedy this and to get myself out of this hole. I haven't had any previous experience in coaching before. I've run businesses for the better part of 20 years, and I'd like to think that I know how to run a profitable business, but what I didn't know was how to deal with a 2-year-old that wasn't sleeping and how to deal with my own exhaustion. It's something I'd never experienced before in my life. What I wanted from a coach was I wanted someone who had business acumen and who could understand and appreciate what we were trying to achieve in business, but also had the foresight to recognize that my issues were largely based on what was happening at home, and being able to connect the level of unbalance across all of my sort of key drivers was something that was really important to me. So I didn't want someone who was just a business coach. I didn't want someone who was just a life coach. I got in contact with Lucy because I just Googled coaches or life coaches or business coaches near me, and just like any you would for a plumber, I started calling them, and I wanted to just try to understand who was going to be the right fit for me. For me, it wasn't so much about price shopping, and not to say that Lucy's any more expensive or cheaper than anybody else, but I wanted to make sure that we were going to be a good fit and make sure that if we were going to work together, there was a really good chance of us working together effectively and most efficiently as possible. So I started calling around people, and the first person got back to me and they said, I just got a sales spiel from them, and they're telling me all about their product and their accolades and how fantastic they were, and I thought, okay, this is really nice, you sound nice enough. I'll wait for the second person to call me back. They called me back. They talked all about them. They talked about how they can help and what they do and what their approach is. And I thought, all right, this is the same. I called the third person back. It was exactly the same story again. And when Lucy called me back, the first thing she asked was, so how are you? What's going on with you? And that immediately struck a chord with me, because straight away she was inquiring as to how can she help me, and we ended up having a 40-minute conversation there and then. And I told Lucy I'd call her back and let her know if there was a chance of us working together. I'd already made my mind up at the end of that call. Lucy in that 40 minutes was able to take this weight off my shoulders, and even in that first 40 minutes start for me to feel like I had found the next step to take in my journey. And just the feeling of having that weight lifted off my shoulders was incredible. And funnily enough, the very next day, my daughter slept her first full night through that she'd slept in weeks or months. And I always, to this moment, still wonder if they're connected. I'm sure they probably are. So from that moment, Lucy and I have been working together for a bit longer than 6 months now, and we meet every week. My business has gone from strength to strength. That was always the end result. But for me, it was always also about finding the right balance in all the other areas of life, family and things like that. And the thing that I'm really happy to say about working with Lucy is that she understands that everything is connected. So if there's something that's going wrong in one area of my life, then it's going to affect something else. So she's able to take a really holistic approach and look at connect my personal life to my business life and work on the areas that actually need work. So whilst I might go to a meeting with a problem about my business, sometimes what we actually focus on is a problem in my personal life. And what we've achieved in 6 months, quite frankly, is just astounding. We've launched a new business. We've completely recreated our cash flow model. We've completely recreated our fee structure. What we've achieved in that short time, I couldn't have done without Lucy. Look, the thing about coaching is you've got to be prepared to invest in yourself in that way. You've got to be able to see the benefit. Anyone who's thinking that they can be performing better on some degree or some areas of their life, well, you've got to be coached. You've got to have someone push you and drive you and make you accountable, but also to understand and be a second opinion for you, because every soundboard that you can run an idea or bounce an idea off is absolutely the most valuable thing for you, especially if you're managing a team, especially if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur and you want to be able to always level up and push through the next ceiling. Having someone there, it's just like having the best athletes in the world, having a coach, full-time pushing them, to be better. If that's you and you want to, always level up, get a coach and speak to Lucy.